We have Brijesh Agarwal, who is the co-founder, now joining in on the show. Great to have you on board, Brijesh. Let's begin with your overall business model. Can you just walk us through, what exactly the benefits you see on account of the growth within the SME sector? Any sort of projections that you have in mind?
So if you really look at the whole B2B marketplace, we've actually built a fantastic algorithm to help buyers and sellers find each other using a unique algorithm that we've built. Now, given the fact that there is a lot of momentum that we see in SMEs coming in and adopting internet for business purposes, I think our platform becomes one of the most important potent tools available to these buyers and sellers. They help find the right partners to actually work with. In terms of our own business, I think as more of these SMEs start to adopt internet for business purposes, the tailwind that we get is definitely going to help us increase the growth rate of the overall business from here on.
Okay. Now let's also understand some of the key risks for your business, Brijesh. I understand that there are quite a number of players who operate within the space. Is that a potential threat for you? How are you looking to, assuage that concern of heightened competition? What's your strategy?
So let me try and address this on two counts. One, if you really look at the entire B2B space, the India market is going to be at about $700 billion in the next 2 years alone. Now, for a market which is as large as this, I would expect that there are multiple players who will come in and solve different kinds of problems for these buyers and suppliers. So, in one sense, we still see a limited number of these companies trying to address problems faced by business buyers and suppliers. And hence, I would not be surprised to see many more businesses joining in. And I think it will be overall good for the community per se. And given the fact that the market is extremely large, I seriously do not think that all of these businesses coming in will eat into each other's shares. Rather, they will help expand the overall business. Second, if you really look at it in terms of some key numbers, today, about 83 million buyers are registered on Indiamart. About 5.5 million sellers use us to market their products and services. We generate close to about 37 million business inquiries and matchmakings on our platform on a monthly basis. So if you really look at some of these numbers, you can very easily say that given the large number of businesses finding Indiamart to be the right platform to help find a buyer or a seller, I think we've already built a substantial base of users. And this business is characterized by very strong network effects. As you've seen in cases of other B2B companies across the world. Once these network effects start to play out, it becomes extremely difficult for any player to come in and disrupt the existing one. And I think we've, over the last 2.5 years, we've seen a very distinct visibility of these network effects playing out. So from an overall competition perspective, I think we are very uniquely placed in this market, and we do not really expect a very serious threat, serious direct threat coming in and impacting the business.
Fair point. Help us understand, how is it that you would be utilizing the proceeds from the IPO as well?
So we are not raising any capital into the company. It's a complete offer for sale. And hence, the investors who are selling out, they will have to really decide on the use of capital for themselves.
Your FY19 PAT at about 48 crore rupees, if I'm not wrong, revenues at 500 crores. Where do you see this number over the coming year, over the next 6 months?
So let me give you a perspective on what has happened over the last couple of years, because the law does not permit us to talk about the future here. But if you see, we've been growing our top line at about 29% CAGR over the last couple of years. And our expenses have grown at about 17% CAGR. So in fact, if you look at our EBITDA margins, in FY18, we did 11% EBITDA margin, and the EBITDA was about 46.6 crores, which increased to about 82 crores at 16% margin in FY19. So overall, I think given the momentum in the business, we are quite confident of managing a good show for ourselves, and we just hope that given the fact that our revenues are growing faster than our expenses, the margin expansion story should continue for the next couple of years.
What would you say is a key challenge for your business currently? Because we all know, it's common knowledge that we are facing and witnessing, or rather in the midst of a big demand slowdown. When do you see that revival coming in, and how big a threat really is this demand slowdown? And also competition from players like an Alibaba, a Just Dial, a Google for that matter. How big a threat could it be for businesses like you?
So I think, talking about challenges in the business, I think one of the fundamental challenges that we really see in the business today is that, only about 17% of all Indian SMEs use internet for business purpose today. And that includes having an email using which they do business correspondence. So if you look at it, the overall penetration of internet within SMEs is quite low. And as that penetration, as that adoption improves, we should be a direct beneficiary of the same. The other important factor, which you highlighted is, what is the impact of the slowdown in the demand that automobiles and FMCG as a businesses have been seeing. What we have really noticed is that there has been, a clear, impact on the number of buyers who've been using the platform over the last couple of quarters, but we've started to see that pick up in this financial year itself. I am not sure if this negative impact is going to remain for a prolonged period for the other businesses, but within our business we are quite confident of being back on track fairly quickly. I don't see that demand slowdown extending beyond a certain period, maybe 1 quarter or 2 quarters at best. Coming to the third part of it, where you highlighted competition in terms of the 3 companies that you named. If you look at the overall business model that we've gone back and built, there are very clear differentiators that we've been able to build in our business. Without taking names of any of these companies, couple of things that I would want to highlight here. One, B2B businesses are characterized by strong network effects, and they generally have been a winner-take-all market. And as I mentioned earlier, we are already witnessing very strong network effects in our business. So that becomes one strong barrier for anybody to enter this market here on. Second, if you really look at it, unlike a lot of classified companies or search companies that you would look at, who would offer you only contact details of businesses on their website, what we offer to business buyers visiting Indiamart is very detailed product specifications, prices, pictures, and in some cases even videos. Now, this information is extremely crucial for a business buyer to
Brijesh would have loved to continue this conversation.
What is the right product?
Brijesh would have loved to continue this conversation, but we're completely out of time, so we'll let you go on that note. Wishing you all the very best for the offer for sale and the growth projections for the company, but we'll let you go on that note.